Yo! Tedic Bear is back. In the previous season, I already explained everything about Druid. And now, all that information is outdated. So today I will share the updated Druid build for Season 2. By using Blightbringer build. You must be familiar with this, right? We can now utilize this boon to our greatest advantage by summoning 6 of them. Before we start talking about the build, we need to fulfill these 2 things. Let's call it activation and requirement. We need Twin Novi Fatebound in the process of summoning more Blightbringers, but we also need the requirement to increase the summon limit. This is the general formula so you can understand it better. For activation, using Twin Novi Hex only will allows you to summon up to 4 Blightbringers, while the complete set is 6. Minion limit can be obtained from Field Marshal or minion number modifiers. You need 4 minion limits to unlock the maximum of 6 Blightbringers. Of course, getting 6 Blightbringers is not mandatory, so having only 4 of them is already enough as long as you can boost their damage even further with other Fatebounds. This is the scenario if you want to achieve 4 minion limit increase. First, get the number minion modifiers from all 3 equipment and use Field Marshal Hex. Second, get the number minion modifiers from 2 equipment and use level 3 Field Marshal. And third, get 1 number minion modifier and use both level 3 Field Marshal and Hex. I hope I provided a good explanation. And now, let's start with Fatebound. The era of strength boost is now over. We now can no longer abuse the bonus minion power, so for Season 2, this is the summary of the best Fatebound set, and I will explain a little bit about the details. We shall therefore begin at Primo Hellheart. Although having it adds a lot of DPS, this build is still functional without it. So, try not to worry too much about it. We then have Bonded Summons, which allows us to share our weapon Fatebound to summons and upgrade it to the max level. In order to raise our summon limit and bonus minion power, Field Marshal was also required. Since Druid relies on strength stats, we'll also utilize all 3 of the heavy armor types. Actually, Heavy Ordnance is an optional Fatebound. You can choose either this one or change it with Twin Novi. However, based on my observations, Heavy Ordnance will cause more damage than the other options. At least either Twin Novi or its Hex version is required for this method to work, as this Fatebound becomes the catalyst to summon more Blightbringers. By the way, most people use both Twin Novi and its Hex version altogether. Next, Bonded Summons Hex is also required to share the Hex version of our weapon Fatebounds, thus making them even stronger. And now, these are weapon Fatebounds. They aren't required to be max level, but it's up to your choice. You have 3 options here for weapon chips. 1. Poison Core Chip to slightly strengthen yourself and your summons. 2. Twin Novi Chip to strengthen your summons. 3. Heavy Ordnance to also strengthen your summons. Now comes the equipment. Actually, you only need the blue sets from Esoteria and get all the Bonded Summons and Field Marshal Fatebounds. For the modifier, you will only need the poison damage and damage reduction of minions, and the rest are just additional. And here is the recommended weapon. Most people are using this Poison Book, or Staff of the Boar King to get bonus minion power directly. Of course, you can also use Poison Staff to get higher damage than the Poison Book if you could get the extra poison damage modifier. I also has a modifier tier list to see which one is important for you to get. Next we have trinkets. As you can see, you can use anything as long as the Fatebound and modifiers are suitable. And here is the recommended skill set. back to Druid skill set, this wolf summoning skill is actually an optional, just to get as many boons effect as possible. For the skill chip, you can use them on these 3 skills to boost our poison damage even further. And these 3 chips are better for achieving a balance between poison and summon. For the boons, we will put Blightbringer to Corrosive Cloud to get the complete 5 effects. Next, we put Harbinger of Helheim to the Wolf Pack skill and get the complete effects. Of course, you need to put this somewhere else if you don't use this skill. And last, we put Thor Domain on Beast Morph Elixir, which will be useful for Snapshot. By the way, you can use this boons on Invasive Growth if you don't use Wolf Pack Summon skill. Alright, since you already have all the information, allow me to present you with the showcase from,
let's say, China. 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 Please like, comment, and subscribe, get my daily news. See you next time.